I'm George the Yank. This is Witcher the Old World, and you're watching Getting Tabled. Hello, future people, and welcome to The Witcher Unboxing on Getting Tabled. I'm George the Yank. This is Witcher the Old World. Now, I'm going to be flat up honest. I knew what The Witcher was. I've never played the video game. I had never read the books. Up until recently, I started listening to the audiobooks since the popularity of the TV show, which I have watched. Therefore, I'm going into this fairly open-minded as far as what's going on, what is all this. I have some idea, but I am coming in at a novice. So, all you super fans out there, cut me some slack. I'm here to talk about a board game, and from what I've seen, it looks like it's a great board game. So let's dive into that. Alrighty, we're going to get started with this. Viewers of the channel, I apologize again for the shiny light. The diffuser I got didn't work. Also, my solution for close-ups, it's on its way. I was told it was going to be here in 3 weeks. That was 5 weeks ago. So we'll have to deal with poor close-ups again. I apologize for that. But I have a way to monitor the feed so I can see it live-ish so that I can mitigate it as much as possible. So as you see here, Witcher the Old World by Go On Board, Polish company for Polish IP. As you saw, this is a fairly thick box. This is the core box. Sitting over here are Kickstarter exclusives, expansions, and then on top of that, there's a Monster Pack exclusive that is just for all-in backers. So there will be videos going over all of those. This one is just for the core, so let's dive into that. So as you saw, remove the plastic from the box. So this is my first time looking at this. Ooh, I like that. They have a picture diagram of how everything's supposed to be put back into the box. And we'll just set that off to the side here. Let's see here. Nice little rule book. So we got the game board, breaks down action cards, potion cards, city exploration cards, wild exploration cards, event cards. Watching one of the previews, I think some of the card storage is right here. I don't know if all the decks live there, but 2 sets of Witcher poker dice, tokens. Let's see, player board with initial. Oh, yeah, this is the individual dashboard. Of course, you got your Witcher minis, wooden cubes, and markers. There's something about games where they still use wood versus plastic that I really like. Gives you a breakdown of, yeah, see right here, some of the cards live here. Yeah, I was watching a playthrough from Go On Board where this is, where you can pick cards from. So, and the expansions have an additional row for that. We'll have to take a look, see how the neoprene mat looks, because I do have that, because, well, neoprene mats are a pretty nice luxury to play on. Let's see here. Basic breakdown of how things work. 4 to 5 player changes. Now, I read somewhere that the more players you add, it makes the game exponentially longer. And in theory, you could do 6 players, but it takes so long after that. Let's see. Dice poker rules. I kind of like how they've added a game within the game, a little poker game. That seems very tavernish, I think. I like the fact that they use a lot of pictures when describing the rules, because sometimes, if you just have a description without any sort of, see like this, they're showing points to here with this symbol with this, like that's very helpful in my opinion, because if you're just explaining it without, you know, visual context or reference, that makes it a little more difficult to understand. Yeah, full player turn for a 2-player game. Picture reference breakdown of how the game goes. And here's the other interesting part, which, you know, I think is nice, is there is a solo mode. I think with the recent events, health-wise for some folks, I think solo playing versus also just, you know, people are busy, you know, you don't always have time to go to your local game store, getting schedules to match up so that you and your 3 or 4 friends can get together, sit down, play a game. I think having a solo option to sit down and play by yourself is also nice. Alright, so there's the rule book. Slide this big guy back in. So looks like that is the entire purpose of this sheet of paper, is to show how things go into the box. Again, I have the deluxe edition, so here's all the stuff for the monsters, it looks like. Oh, it's some of the extras. Okay. Alright, so time to move some stuff around. And I don't know if I'll be able to completely unfold this, but here's the board. That's a lot of board. Ooh, nice little foam inserts to keep it safe and secure while shipping. Nice touch. I do like that a lot. Alright, let me set this over to the side here. Let's see how much of this I can unfold. So, let's see here. See if I can turn the brightness down, because it looks like it's getting washed out a little bit. There we go. So, this is very matte, very smooth. The detail is just absolutely amazing on this. I love it. Okay, and it looks like this board might be about as big as my mouse pad. I call it a mouse pad. Oh. That's a pretty decent sized board, but not too terribly big. It's not going to take up your entire table. And this is actually the playing area. This is more of just, you know, reference and how things are set up. Now, like I said, from watching the playthrough on the Go On Board YouTube channel, this expands out to the right as you add expansions, like for the mages and stuff. I don't know if there's anything else. Haven't dived into this too much. And here are your standard tokens, and look at that, there's more tokens. Now, the coins I did upgrade, and I do have the metal coins. For those who watched my Darwin's Journey unboxing, I was really in love with the gold coins, or the coins that came with that, so this should be no different. Looks like tokens for all the locations, the characters you can play as. So, for those who've watched the show, and that's all you really know it from, you notice there's a name missing. That's okay. We don't have to have a Geralt, however you pronounce it. Okay, and again, ooh, more foam. Plastic cover to hold the cards in place, very nice. Pull some of these things out. I am really liking all the plastic inserts here, so let's get this pulled out. Ooh. That many cards does weigh a lot, so at this point I am teasing you now, because we're not going to look at miniatures just yet. We're going to look at the player dashboards. If I can get into them. Make sure that doesn't fall. So, double layer cardboard. Looks like slot here for a card, slot here for a card, so it neatly lays together. Indentations for your wooden markers, and then your other token here. Again, let's see if I can. There we go. It's very matte. A little description of what's going on. So we have Rafe here. If I butcher names, like I said, cut me some slack. Kylar, Godric, Jasper, and Aaron. So, like I said, because I did go all in, there is a Siri character. I do have the mage expansion, so there will be mages. I don't know if this, how worth my time it is to slide these back in to store and protect them. That's not bad. Back in there will go to be protected. And they go right there, so no tape. For those who have watched other unboxings of mine, you'll know how much of a fan I am not of tape holding all these down. A little bit of foam holding this guy in place. See if I can... Again, this would be better if I had gotten that macro lens attachment. Also help if I could like remember which way I need to go. Some of these look like they're going to be extremely fun to paint. Also, now the concept of, you know, the Witchers are the monster hunter and monster slayer, so to speak. There's some great looking monster miniatures here. This guy doesn't look creepy at all. They're all numbered, so I'm assuming, yeah, and the pocket right here, you can't see it, is numbered as well, so that makes it easy to put it back in place. Especially if you pull everything out and have a massive game. Save some money on plastic there, make that hollow inside. Look, it's a finger puppet. There, now you can see my finger puppet. That is a disturbing looking head. It's a mallet. Some of these will look really nice. Somewhere down the line after I get my new bench built, because that's going to take some funding. Ooh, this is a big, gnarly looking guy. I plan on getting the complete set of Army Paver speed paints, just because those seem to have spoken to me the most. I should pay attention to how you pulled out of there. Like that. There we go. And I think for like some of this board game stuff, I'm going to do what it's being called the slap chop method. Unfortunately, I can't get this guy close enough to see any detail without a lens. It's probably going to be the same for some of the other, for the Witcher characters and whatnot. But from what I've seen, people have been able to get really good results with that and do it really quickly, and I think that would be perfect and ideal for a board game like this, where, you know, you run the chance of playing with someone who is not very miniature conscientious of, you know, touching it by the base only, where it's easy to touch up instead of like manhandling it. You know, it's if you're able to just slap it on real quick, slap chop, right? You know, less concerned about the paint getting rubbed off and whatnot. So the detail of these, and like I said, I apologize that I don't have that lens attachment. Some of the detail, I can't show it off enough right now, especially on some of these smaller ones. as I go through all these. And some of these will just look absolutely brilliant with a coat of paint on them. Just to bring out all the layers of detail that exist. I mean, I don't know, I can't. But there's actually holes for the eyes on that hood right there. The sword is pretty reasonably straight. You can see the detail on the lantern, that there's actually a frame and whatnot. It's pretty cool. Little hobgoblin-y type dude. There's so many here, it's hard to keep track of what I've grabbed and what I haven't grabbed. Looks like a giant gremlin. You know, the one that gets fed after midnight. This is a really cool yet disturbing. It's got kind of a bird face. It's hard to show off. Now the best part is, and this is completely unrelated to the, oh, that's just disturbing, is it is summer, so my son is visiting for longer periods of time, so hopefully I can get the table over there to my right set up, find some place for the 3D printer to sit, and set this up and get a game in or two with him. Looks really good. There's no jaw, like, there's so much detail in these, it's so hard to capture right now. The other thing I like about these two is, like, you know, like, so CMON, like, some of their miniatures, you know, the scale of them just gets, you know, ridiculous in comparison to some of the other, you know, miniatures in the game. Like, the dragon is about literally a foot tall when the characters you play as are this tall. You know, it's absolutely just crazy. So, like, I have this giant box sitting on my shelf just for the dragon and his cards. You know, and don't get me wrong, it's cool, but it's ludicrously huge. I think probably these three and this guy right here are about the biggest ones in this box. So, but that hasn't stopped him on just amazing detail. I mean, look how. Let's see if we can slide this. It's too far away. Look how thin those fingers are. Oh, this guy's got a little fat chin. So again, no tape, nice embossed plastic, you know, with the name and stuff. Very cool, very, very, very well done. So, I do know enough, there's different types of Witchers, you know, the wolf, the cat, and stuff like that. So, those are all marked right there, like which Witcher it is. Identifying rings, so you don't have to stick with a specific color, I guess. Oh, let's take a look at the dashboards. No, I guess the Witchers do have a color. So, like, Rayfarer's red, so he's the bear. So Rayfarer here is this guy with this dashboard and the color red. So I guess they do match up, but let's say you couldn't change it up. So, and like I mentioned earlier, let me slide these out so I don't elbow them off. Okay. Yum, yum, yum. No, don't eat those. That's a joke. These dice, see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a little confusing. I wish there was more. difference between the 6 and the 4. I guess once you get used to the fact that, 6-point star is 6, 4 sides, 1 side, 5 sides, 3 sides. Okay, I guess that makes sense. It's kind of interesting choice to do 2 circles for the 2 side. Looks like all the dice are like that, and of course they're mirrored and opposite. So. So this guy, again, the detail on this is so amazing. I can't capture enough right now. Mozak underwater cameras, where I ordered it from. Avoid ordering from them unless you're not in a hurry. I was told 3 weeks. 5 weeks later, I still don't have it. So, otherwise, well, let's see if I can do this. Where did I put my magic camera box? See if I can muddle with this some, at least for the Witchers. Because I have a nice, lovely, huge 10x lens here. Oh yeah, that really fisheyes it, but there's the detail I'm looking for. So hopefully once I get the mount, I can just have the lens mounted. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that detail on the scabbards and everything too. Here's a very action pose. And my arm is really starting to hurt. There we go. Again, I think the level of detail some of these board game companies are able to capture on just a run-of-the-mill board game is amazing. I mean, we're by nowhere talking, the level of detail you would see on a Games Workshop miniature or anything like that, but for just a board game piece, it is pretty phenomenal. Now the plastic on the box does snug together pretty well. I'm lifting this up by the top so it stays on pretty well. I'll set that here. Now, I heard some people talking about sleeving all the cards up and how they aren't fitting quite as nicely. Ooh, look, they have little peel tabs. I like that. Prevents me from having to take an X-Acto knife or sitting there and picking at it for 20 minutes with my fingers trying to get this open. So I think this is just an identifier to identify the language and type of card. Here we have some guides. So yeah, we've got combo effects, players, fight turn, Witcher versus Witcher, Witcher versus monster. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. So everyone gets a game reference. That's huge. If you're going to have those, have it so that everyone can have one, not just one that everyone has to share. Player's turn with dice results. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. Again, everyone is able to get one. The artwork is fairly stunning on these. I want to say these are slightly bigger. Normal playing card. Let me grab this. I just printed this off. There's a Kickstarter that turned out to be a huge, massive scam. They stole this design, put it off as their own, and ran off with like $50,000. So I guess these are fairly standard width, maybe a little longer. Mostly fits in there, not quite deep enough. But if you get two and stack it up, then it would be. So yeah, fairly standard width there at least. Quick slash, rending below. So it looks like all of them are color specific to a Witcher as well. So it looks like the random draw. I'm sure there's some benefit to the color of this matching the Witcher, but not necessary. Because I mean, it looks like it's just one big massive deck. The artwork is really good. So now, as I said in the opening, didn't read the books, didn't play the games, kind of watched the TV show and was like, wow, this is good. Why have I not gotten into this sooner? I'm not a big video game person. I spent way too much time playing a World of Warcraft and realized that video games are something I should like spend less time doing. And it's part of the reason why I got back into gaming is because it makes you, well, as I was praising the solo mode earlier, but it makes you actually interact with people and do something with people in person, sort of. So, again, identifying card for the deck. So, various types of cards here. Ooh, that's pretty artwork. Like I said, and this is just a generalized unboxing. I haven't read through the rules. I like to keep these as untainted as possible so I can just give a good, honest impression as I look at it. So far, everything looks like it might be pretty straightforward with the way the instructions were shown. You know, obviously these are monster cards. I'm guessing hit points, level, etc., etc. And then we got some of these. So this looks like it's yeah, monster damage. So 1, 2, or 3 based on, you know, whatever, and it's how much damage you take. So again, that seems pretty straightforward. And we got some equipment here, right? Is that what these are? Or items for the game based off the backs. Crossbow. Interesting. They're all numbered too. That we'll have to delve deeper into the rules to ascertain. Yeah, because we've got another crossbow at 14 brass knuckles. Yeah. And then the last set in this deck were, looks like abilities that you can pick up as you go. So again, the little peel strip here, I can't say how much I love this, because CMON is notorious for just taking cards, shrink wrapping them, calling it good, and then it's up to you to figure out how to get the plastic off without damaging the cards. Whereas that, you got a little pull tab, easy enough. So it looks like more monsters. I may have to spend some time, sit down, and go through and separate out cards. So it looks like there's some slight differences, and I don't know if it's because of this being the deluxe edition versus a regular edition of the game. So it looks like some quest type cards. You're stopped by guardsmen in the middle of the street. Sure sounds like a quest to me. All you need is the floating exclamation point, right? And it looks like some more attack type cards. But again, it looks like the backs are different. No, they're not. So maybe you have to separate them out by color for The Witcher. Who knows? Like I said, I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. It's part of the fun of playing, getting a new game is learning how to play it, right? Although there is a problem when they don't line up the little strip, and you have to figure out which one is on top to pick up. My guess is something alchemical because, well, it's a potion bottle. So yes, alchemical potion type things. Part of how The Witcher uses abilities and stuff from watching the TV show, because that's my main source of knowledge. Again, don't yell at me in the comments. It looks like... So these look like... Oh, okay, so these are specific for the cat school Witcher. So my guess is there's probably some other specific ones. Yep, sure enough, here's some snick. Oh, viper. Vipers are snicks. Looks like the bear. And again, I don't know this griffin and wolf, because you got the wolf, right? Some more monsters, it looks like. And looks like more quest type cards. You notice moss and low brambles overgrowing the ruins. Yeah, it sounds like a quest to me. The cards are good. Again, you see a little bit of the pattern texture, which, you know, you see that on not the highest quality cards, but the more durable, like they're going to last longer cards. So I think that was the good choice. Looks like a couple more monsters. And when I say that, I'm talking like your average deck of 52 suited cards for like poker and stuff like that. They tend to have that gridded texture, and that just seems to make the cards more durable and last longer. So, and that's what I'm saying is, you know, they probably chose something like that so that these cards do last. Oh, almost missed some more tokens. I don't know why those tokens weren't living there. I'm gonna say they live there, because that makes more sense for them to live there. The packaging on this is phenomenal. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give this packaging a 10. It is well thought out. It's well planned out. I've got one sheet of tokens, which I'm sure I can easily fit in this slot. No problem. I've got extra baggies, so I could just rebaggy them and not have any issues. This side of the box right here is designed so that it sits reasonably flush on that, so that it does go into the box nicely, which again is huge. And the fact too that they put little chunks of foam in to hold some of the minis in place, and board and stuff like that, so they're not sliding around and dinging and damaging during shipping, I think is a very nice touch. I mean, that shows the, we want to make a good product that, when you get it, it's going to be a good product and it's not going to be damaged. Oh, yeah, so see, yeah, the deluxe edition, it's got plastic tokens instead of just the cardboard ones. Oh, okay, I see. So we got monster tiles versus actual monsters, so that makes sense, right? Get this put back together. Nice, snug fitting box. So that is Witcher: The Old World, a overview, quick unboxing with no background knowledge. I'm very pleased by how it looks. I've got quite the collection going over here to my right, and I want to say I've only maybe got one or two other games that are more well presented than this. This is phenomenal looking. Anyone who is still waiting for theirs or who is thinking about getting this, for those who are still waiting, it's worth the wait. For those who are thinking about getting this, get it. Without having read the rules, knowing anything about how the game plays, other than what I saw from the Go On Board video, it looks amazing. The quality of the miniatures, just the way everything looks and feels. There's not 30,000 tokens. It seems like it's very straightforward. It looks like it's very card driven, but the way they lay it out, it does look like it's a fairly simple card driven setup where it's not an absolute pain of which deck do I draw from. It looks like every deck has its place and purpose, from what I've seen. So this is the first of the unboxings. I have, as I move away from the mic, I have the Kickstarter exclusives, the Skellig, Mages, and Legendary Hunt, along with the extras. For those who did an all-in pledge, there's an exclusive monster pack for all-in backers, the Needroom Rat, extra coins, and dice. So stay tuned for those videos. Until next time, play more games, and don't get tabled.
Thank you very much for checking out this video. If you're enjoying the content of this channel, please like and subscribe. If you're in a position to do so, please check out patreon.com/gettingtabled. You receive early access to at least 80% of all videos that we put out, and you get access to the video edition of all of our podcasts the day that they're uploaded. If you'd like to check us out on social media, facebook.com/gettingtabled is the most active. We also have a Discord server. You can email our team at gettingtabled@gmail.com. If you're on either Twitter or Instagram, you can find us at gettingtabled. And until next time, play more games.